The views expressed on the following program do not necessarily reflect the views of Money Radio staff, management, or advertisers, and do not represent an offer to buy or sell any securities. Some interviews heard on this program may be sponsored by the participants. It's time for Health Futures with Cypress HomeCare Solutions, Bob Roth. This is Arizona's only show dedicated to providing you with expert advice on how to live a longer, healthier, and happier life. To learn more, call 602-264-8009. That's 602-264-8009. Now, here's your host, Bob Roth.
Good afternoon. You're listening to Health Futures, and I'm your host, Bob Roth, and we're coming at you live from the Scottsdale Air Park. It is Friday, September 23rd, and you can find us right here on Money Radio, 1510 AM, 99.3 FM, and on the World Wide Web at moneyradio1510.com. If you're just tuning in, the show is Health Futures, and it's Health Futures for a reason. It's about how our older adult population can live a healthier, happier life. And I'm your host, Bob Roth, and my family and I, we own a home care agency here in the Valley. Been around for 23 years, and we are out there making a difference in many lives. And how do we do that? We provide exceptional caregivers, and these people have compassion, they have heart, and they have a desire to help their fellow, brethren, their fellow human being to be able to exist and be as independent as they can, and really be able to age in place. I've talked about it here on the show. 9 out of 10 people want to be able to stay at home and age in place, and utilizing caregivers is a great way to do it. I've always advocated family members first, friends, neighbors second, and if you can't find a friend or neighbor to help you, then call Cypress HomeCare Solutions. We have over 200 caregivers who've been around for 23 years, and we have people that have compassion and they have heart. And while I've got the subject matter being about home care in Cypress, I want to make an appeal to the listening audience. We're always looking for great caregivers. So if you are one of those people that have that caring spirit, wants to make a difference in someone's life, or you know of someone that is that caring spirit, please have them call our office at 602-264-8009. We're looking for good people, and that may be you. So please give us a call. So our show is about bringing guests, and the subject matters really run the gamut, and I really would appreciate if you guys who are listening today, maybe for the first time, go out to our website at cypresshomecare.com, push on the radio button, and you will see about 130 broadcasts that we've been bringing to you for about 3.5 years, and each one of our guests is super, and they are experts in their field. And today is no different. I am very pleased to have in my studio, I've got Dr. Jim Kelly. And Dr. Jim Kelly has a dental practice, and that practice is Dr. Jim Kelly Dentistry. And you're here at the show, and I really appreciate you being here. And you've brought somebody here along with you who happens to have the same last name.
Yes, I have. Well, first, Bob, I'd like to say thank you for having us on the show. And my lovely wife, Sherry, is here with us. She is a behind-the-scenes force in our practice.
Well, you know what? Most of our wives are the behind-the-scene force in our lives, but you have her in your business life, too. Some people say they have a work wife. Well, you literally have your wife and your wife that is behind the scenes in your practice.
Yes, absolutely.
And we do have a guest on our show again, Barry Kluger, from Kluger Ship Agency. Welcome.
Well, thank you for having me, and my teeth are feeling great.
Your teeth are feeling great. Well, you know what? I know you're never short on words, so if you ever feel in our conversation here today you want to contribute, I welcome you to do just that.
Well, thank you.
Dr. Kelly, can I call you Jim?
Yes, absolutely, Bob.
Jim, welcome to the show, and I really appreciate you joining us.
Thank you very much.
I want to give our listening audience a little bit of information or a little background on yourself. Can you tell us a little bit about you?
Sure, absolutely. I'd love to tell you. I was born and raised in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Harrisburg?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow, I didn't know that. I'm
State
from Baltimore.
Capital. Baltimore.
Yeah.
Yep, I was right down the road. My daughter graduated from Maryland Institute College of Art a couple of years ago.
How far were you away from 3 Mile Island? And do you glow? Do you glow in the dark?
No. We were 18 miles away, upriver, so we didn't have to evacuate.
Well, I remember it very well. But go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Well, that's okay. I born and raised in Harrisburg, and then after graduating high school, I entered the University of Delaware to pursue the study of marine biology.
Go Fighting Blue Hens.
Exactly. The Blue Hens and
Joe Flacco.
Yeah, exactly. But I went there. They had a great program in oceanography and marine biology. I wanted to be Jacques Cousteau.
Very cool.
You know, I really thought that was my path in life. And that was the summer of '75 when I was accepted, but then Jaws came out. Steven Spielberg's movie, of course, we all remember
one of my
that.
favorites.
Yeah. And that kind of made me think twice about it, you know, these large predators. I wasn't really thinking about that, and I was young. So I entered my freshman year kind of with no direction then. I was a biology major.
Right.
So I was undeclared major. And second semester, I met my roommate, Ignacio Gisbert. He and his family came to America in 1962 when Castro overtook Cuba.
Right.
His parents fled the country. His father was a practicing dentist in Cuba. And when Dr. Gisbert got to this country, he had to go to dental school all over again. You know, there was no reciprocity here with Cuba.
Right.
So Dr. Gisbert did so, and he set up shop in Delaware, and that's how I met Ignacio. So during that second semester, I had the opportunity to go out. I was invited to go out with my roommate. We were both bio majors. He wanted to be a dentist like his father, and I had no idea, what it was all about. And I went out there, and I saw this man perform his craft, his art, if you will. And I saw the passion and care he had in treating his patients, and the happy smiles. We spent the whole summer, the next summer, just going out there whenever we could. That impacted me greatly, and I knew at that point I wanted to make dentistry a career.
Wow. Now, so that was your freshman year.
Yes.
1975.
Yes.
University of Delaware, Wilmington, Delaware.
Yes, absolutely. It was in Newark, Delaware.
Newark, Delaware.
Yeah.
Newark, Delaware.
Yeah.
And you got a chance to see firsthand what he could do for people.
Right. And the fact that this man loved dentistry so much that he fled Cuba and came over here, and, he could have taken another job. He put himself through dental school. And I said, there must be something to that, And I've been practicing for over 30 years now, and I can see why he did so. I have no intention of retiring. I'm passionate about what I do. I love what I do.
You know what? I so appreciate you giving us a little bit of your background. And I have a friend of mine who's a dentist as well, and he's about your age, maybe just a little bit younger. And, one of the things that he did share with me is that, back in the late 70s and early 80s, AIDS was becoming an epidemic, and we didn't really have the technology and the medical breakthroughs as it relates to pharmacology to be able to keep AIDS at bay, or HIV at bay, and not have AIDS present itself. And he told me that a lot of dentists went out of the business because there was a dentist in Florida, I think.
I remember that case.
That contracted AIDS
Yes.
from a patient that had AIDS.
Yes.
And the opportunity just opened up for a lot of dentists to get into the practice because a lot of people weren't getting in.
Right, exactly.
It's hard to believe we're coming up on a break, and I want to hear so much more about what you're doing now. And, I think you're doing some amazing things, especially for our older adult population, including me.
Hey.
So we're up against a break here. You're listening to Health Futures. I've got Dr. Jim Kelly in the studio. I've got his beautiful wife, Sherry, and I've got Barry Kluger here with me. You're listening to Health Futures, Taking Stock in You, and we're on our first break. We'll be right back.
Do you have questions about your retirement? Ameriprise financial advisor Wayne Candace can help. With the exclusive Confident Retirement approach, you'll work together to develop a retirement roadmap to get you where you want to go. Call Wayne today at 480-922-4215. Office is located at 16220 North Scottsdale Road, Suite 250, Scottsdale, Arizona 85254. The Confident Retirement approach is not a guarantee of future financial results. Investment advisory products and services are made available through Ameriprise Financial Services, Inc., a registered investment advisor. For investors who are tired of the same old stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, Farmfolio's agriculture investments may be a great way to refresh your retirement portfolio. Agribusiness is one of the few asset classes that may offer both long-term stability and sustained aggressive growth. Listen to Farmfolio CEO Dax Cook Thursday morning at 7:10 on Business for Breakfast and learn how Farmfolio's farm shares can give you access to equity in large-scale agricultural projects. That's Farmfolio this Thursday morning at 7:10 on Business for Breakfast.
Your one blood donation can help save the lives of up to 3 people. Give blood through the American Red Cross to help hospital patients. Call 1-800-RED-CROSS or visit redcrossblood.org today.
Now back to Health Futures, taking stock in you. If you have questions about your own or your loved one's future health care, call 602-264-8009. Now, here's your host, Cypress HomeCare Solutions, Bob Roth.
Welcome back. You're listening to Health Futures. I'm your host, Bob Roth, and we're on our second segment. If you're just tuning in, I've got Dr. Jim Kelly here in the studio, and I've got his lovely bride here. I've got Sherry Kelly, and I've got Barry Kluger from the Klugership Agency. We're talking about dentistry, and we're talking about older adults and the need for dentistry, and this is what our show is all about. It's about how our older adult population can live a healthier, happier life. And we learned a lot about you, Jim, in the first segment, and about how you got into this business. Mm-hmm. And you've been practicing for over 30 years. Yeah. And, I have this one question, and it's never been an issue for me, but I know there are a lot of people that are afraid to go to the dentist. So, why? And especially kids, but even older adults. And I can tell you firsthand from my mother-in-law, I mean, she didn't see a dentist forever. And I think she was afraid that they might find something. But, I'd love to hear from you. What is your perspective about people not wanting to go to the dentist?
In my career, in my personal and professional experience, I whittled it down to 3 things. Fear of the needle, the shot, fear of the drill, and the associated sounds and vibration that come along with the drill, and fear of the anticipation of pain. And I know my first experience with a dentist as a child was with a toothache. I had never seen the gentleman before, so when I went there, I already had a toothache. My mom took me in. And there you have that cause and effect relationship. I associated the toothache with the dentist, and that was a miserable experience for me. And even into adulthood, it's amazing that I have become a dentist because I have felt that fear and anxiety. So when we're talking about the 3 things, the fear of the shot, the drill, and the anticipation of pain, we have done things, taken steps in our practice to help alleviate that with people nowadays with modern dental techniques and technology, mm-hmm. such as the laser.
Well, it's interesting. I've had several dentists in my lifetime because I've moved to multiple places, but they're really good dentists. I mean, especially when it comes to the shot. You don't really feel it. And they just have an approach about them. I mean, yes, the vision of a big needle and the way, and I remember my one dentist when I was growing up, he'd come at me from behind and I never saw it, and he pulled down my lip and I might feel just a little pinch prick, but that was really it.
Right.
And then next thing you know, I'm slobbering down the side of my face, and I feel like my face is swollen, but it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
For me, Jim, I at 7 years old broke my number 8 tooth, and that was really hard. It split right in half. My brother Joe he and I were throwing the baseball, and at 10 years old, 9.5 years old, he was trying to curve on me, and it actually did curve, and it tipped off the tip of my glove, and I missed it, and I caught it right in the mouth. And I got to tell you, first of all, the pain was excruciating because it's a live nerve. Mm-hmm. The second thing is, you ever see the movie Marathon Man?
Oh, absolutely. Does it hurt?
Dustin Hoffman
yes,
and Laurence Olivier?
Yes.
I was Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
And I want to share this experience with you because, for some reason, the Novocaine didn't take. Did not take at all. And, he was posting that thing, and, I was tough, but, tears were coming down my eyes. He goes, I'm almost done. I'm like, almost done?
Yeah.
But, again, that was 46 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So things have come a long way in 46 years, but that was something I'll always remember. But I did get back to going to the dentist after that, after he tortured me like that.
That's what I'm referring to, the state-of-the-art of technology, even with the anesthetics that we use these days. Local anesthetic wasn't even used routinely until 1942 when lidocaine was first developed.
Wow.
And prior to that, it was, they were using Novocaine, but a lot of people had allergic reactions to it, but not really used routinely until 1942.
I remember that.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I would imagine you do, Barry. I would imagine you do.
I certainly do not.
Well, you know what? I want to talk to you about now older adults because that's really the space that we're in. And I think so many of the older adults really don't do a good job of caring for themselves. And, I know that oral care is so important and it really affects the entire body. I want to just get perspective from you about good oral hygiene because it happened to my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law started, she didn't see a dentist for a long time. And next thing you know, we observed her not really eating. She was hiding it. And, she would eat in these really small bites. And then all of a sudden, her lip drooped over because her teeth have shifted. And she ended up having bone loss. And I think she ended up having a bridge. I'm not really sure, but she finally did go to a dentist. But, as it's explained to me, the U shape in your palate becomes, as you get older, it becomes more of a V, right? It tends to shrink.
Not necessarily. It depends on the positioning of the teeth. But, typically the bone's going to remain stable. But what will happen with the onset of gum disease, you will sustain permanent bone loss. A lot of people don't realize that. And when we're talking about home care and how to manage and take care of your teeth, I see the young and the old, a lot of boomers. And I know that you do a lot of work with the baby boomer.
I am a boomer.
Yeah, me too. And so the basics are brush at least twice a day. I usually suggest use an electric brush. And there's a couple of great products on the market.
Which ones do you recommend?
I use the Oral-B contra rotating.
The rotating ones?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and then there's the Sonicare.
I use Sonicare.
Yeah, I like them both. I've used them both.
My wife uses both.
Right.
she always accuses me of not waiting the 3 minutes on the Sonicare. You got to wait for the 3 pulse. I get done after the first one. She's you got 2 more to do.
I do it for 4 minutes, and that is a long 4 minutes. A lot of people don't realize it until you have that timer. That holds you, it keeps you honest, because if you don't have the timer, you're in there done in 30 seconds.
Well, doctor, I'm going to remember that when I'm brushing my teeth tonight. I'm going to hang in there for all 4 minutes.
Yeah, put it up to 4. But, so brush twice a day at least, or whenever you want to. And then, floss once a day. But most importantly, these days, it's been found that the benefit of using an irrigation device, such as a water pick or hydrofloss, that is 29% more effective in removing biofilm, or plaque as we call it, from around the tooth surface. Before, it used to be suggested that floss was the only thing that could do that. But they've done studies, and the most recent report I read was 29% more effective in plaque removal. So and these, yes.
What do you think? What do you think of these gums?
Bob just handed me a gum interproximal brush. These things are fantastic. I have one of these in my pocket right now. Yeah,
these things are great.
These things are.
I mean, it stimulates the gums and gets in between the teeth. And for our listening audience, it's a white plastic device that has the green fuzzy thing on the end that can pull away the debris that is building up on your teeth.
Exactly. Anything, it's not just one thing. Excuse me. It uses many of the little tools that are out there that you can to keep your gums free of the plaque, because it's all about bacteria. It's all about inflammation.
Right.
And also, you have to go to the dentist regularly, otherwise those problems are going to be larger problems.
Absolutely.
And what's interesting is I happen to notice this. In my family's practice, we go to the dentist 3 times a year. So 2's not enough. We go 3 times. And, it's interesting. My good friend Jimmy, his uncle was a dentist, and he used to say, only floss those teeth that you want to keep.
Exactly.
And and I'm not a very good flosser, so going 3 times a year, I feel like I'm compensating for that. I should floss more, but you're right. I mean, one of the things I notice, especially not only with teeth being straight, but I notice plaque. And it's amazing. Sometimes I'm talking to somebody and I can't help but look at their teeth and see like this white buildup that's on the bottoms or their top teeth, and I'm like, dude.
Right.
Come on.
Right.
You're going to have to take a power drill to get that thing off of there.
Yes. And, speaking about the buildup of plaque like that, we see that occurring more rapidly and heavily in the older population, simply because as we age, our salivary glands start to shut down and we produce less saliva. Dry mouth.
I did not know that.
Yeah, dry mouth sets you up for gum disease and dental decay. And the aging population, especially the boomers, which was the first generation to actually be able to afford and take care of their teeth. They save their money, and they have all this beautiful dental work done. Then they retire. Then they lose their income. Then they're on a fixed budget, and they don't have any insurance benefits. So you have all of this beautiful dental work that is not being maintained, and it will fail if it's not given regular maintenance.
Right, no doubt.
Yeah.
I want to talk about, when we get back to the next segment, it's hard to believe we're getting ready to wind down our second one. I want to talk about really how the mouth is really the gateway to diseases. And, especially with older adults that are very susceptible to disease, I think it's really oral hygiene. And again, you're the expert, I'm not. I would imagine is paramount to fighting off diseases, that we need to make sure we're practicing good oral hygiene. We're brushing twice a day. We're flossing and using those gum brushes or whatever.
Absolutely.
Because if we can keep our mouth clean, then we can keep the diseases and infections at bay.
Your mouth is a mirror to the rest of your health.
It really, truly
Absolutely.
is. Well, listen, you listen to Health Futures. We're down our second segment. My name is Bob Roth. I'm your host. I've got Dr. Jim Kelly and his wife Sherry here in the studio. We'll be right back.
The family of the black man killed by police in Charlotte, North Carolina has released a video of the aftermath of the shooting taken by Keith Lamont Scott's wife, Scott family attorney Eduardo Curry.
That's what she took with her own cell phone. That's what she took when she was present there. And she wants the world to actually see, this is what we have, this is what I know. And we're being as transparent as we can, because we want accountability to be had.
After several days of protest, a curfew will remain in effect tonight in Charlotte. A Tulsa, Oklahoma police officer has been charged with first-degree manslaughter in the shooting death of an unarmed black man. The officer's attorney says she thought Terrence Crutcher was armed and that the charge is a rush to judgment. Funeral services for Crutcher will be held tomorrow in Tulsa. On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average off 92 points. The S&P 500 down by 8. The Nasdaq down by 24 points. I'm Ann Cates.
Geico applauds your inner ride leader.
An enthusiastic engine rev goes out to the biker in you who leads the pack. Even if that pack is a party of one, you're still a leader to Geico. To prove it, Geico will insure your motorcycle with great rates and 24/7 customer service. And with Geico by your side, you're never cruising solo. Which means you've just been nominated as a real ride leader. Congrats! The smell of fine leather and trailblazing is in your future.
Geico Motorcycle. See how much you could save.
This is Charles Osgood. Whether traveling or working remotely, we know your PC is your business headquarters. And when work takes you on the go, you need a laptop that can keep up. Dell's XPS 13 empowers small business owners to collaborate anywhere with incredible battery life and powerful performance. Reduce downtime by 50% and boost productivity with 4 times faster performance when you refresh to new Dell PCs featuring Intel Core processors. Visit Dell.com/radio.
When it comes to talking about all things relating to money, nobody does it like the Valley leader for 25 years. Tell your friends about us. We're Money Radio at 1510 AM and 99.3 FM.
Jumping off a cliff into water can be risky. Running across a driving range at a golf course can also be risky. Swimming with sharks surrounded by chum is very risky. You know what shouldn't be risky? Your retirement. Tune in to My Smart Retirement this Saturday morning from 10 to 11 when certified financial planner Nancy Fleming discusses retirement risk. What kind of risk is hiding in your retirement plan? Find out this Saturday on My Smart Retirement from 10 to 11 right here on Money Radio. Want My Smart Retirement on demand? Go to moneyradionetwork.com and click on My Smart Retirement.
This is Monster Jam, and there's no holding back. See Gravedigger, Max T, El Toro Loco, Scooby-Doo, Zombie, Son of a Digger, Soldier Fortune, Northern Nightmare, and more. Monster Jam, brought to you by BKT, the official tire of Monster Jam. Tickets start at just $15. January show sold out, so get your tickets now. Coming to University of Phoenix Stadium, October 8th. Buy your tickets now at monsterjam.com.
On the right side of the trade, we correctly identified several of the market turning points over the last few years. We predicted that oil and gold prices were likely to remain low, and that world growth and company earnings were likely to deteriorate, and we were right on all counts. We now believe the stock market could be in for a significant drop in 2016. Learn to both protect yourself and profit, even when the market falls. Check out Online Trading Academy's The Right Side of the Trade, Thursdays and Saturdays at noon on Money Radio 1510 and 99.3.
Want to golf with the pros? No, not pro golfers, but professional basketball players who think they can play golf. Positive Image Sports can make that possible. Join us Saturday, September 24th at Legacy Golf Resort starting at noon for the Positive Image Sports Business Celebrity Golf Tournament. To register, visit PositiveImageSports.com. You can be part of a foursome or register an entire foursome. Dinner will be provided immediately following the tourney. Go to PositiveImageSports.com for more information and to register today.
Your one blood donation can help save the lives of up to 3 people. Give blood through the American Red Cross to help hospital patients. Call 1-800-RED-CROSS or visit redcrossblood.org today.
Now back to Health Futures, taking stock in you. If you have questions about your own or your loved one's future health care, call 602-264-8009. Now, here's your host, Cypress HomeCare Solutions, Bob Roth.
Welcome back. You're listening to Health Futures. I'm your host, Bob Roth, and I've got Dr. Jim Kelly. I got his beautiful wife, Sherry, here in the studio with us, and I've got Barry Kluger from the Klugership Agency. So, Jim, we were talking about oral hygiene. We were talking about it really being the gateway to lots of infections and diseases, and we were talking about older adults and boomers.
Yes.
We were also talking about how to prevent those, and certainly, brushing, flossing, using, other innovative products and services that have been developed.
Correct.
What else can we do?
What we can do, and I think it's a big issue, is only about 45% of the population sees a dentist on a regular basis in America.
45%. So that's less than half.
Yeah.
And a regular basis, is that one or twice a year?
Regular basis is
It
twice
should be
a year.
twice a year.
Yes.
Okay. So we have a lot of people that have gum and mouth and teeth issues out there.
Yes, we do.
And I got to tell you, I mean, I'm for one. I mean, I talked to you about breaking my number 8, and then I've had a abscess in there, and I had to have a root canal. I've had a lot of injuries in my life, and the pain I had before I had that done was excruciating.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to imagine there are a lot of people that are living out there with pain, and one of the challenges we have with older adults, especially ones that have dementia and other diseases and memory challenges, you know, they may be agitated and they may, you know, have more of a disruptive behavior. And if they can't tell us what hurts, it could be their mouth. It could be a tooth.
Absolutely. And it's interesting that you mentioned dementia and Alzheimer's. I'll get to that in a second. But as we age, we're more prone. Gum disease, or periodontitis as it's known technically, is a progressive disease. It results in the permanent loss of bone around your teeth. This can start at an early age, in your 20s.
Wow.
By the time, what we're seeing today is most people by the age of 65 in this country, 80% of the 65-year-olds and above have some form of periodontitis or gum disease.
Run that number by me again?
80%.
80%?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's the number one cause of tooth loss. Second cause of tooth loss is decay, usually exacerbated at that age by the recession of the gums from the gum disease and the buildup of plaque around the root surface. The dry mouth contributes to root caries. It's
and all of it is preventable.
Yes.
With preventative maintenance, being brushing, flossing, and getting in to see your doctor, your dentist.
Yes, that
regularly.
generation, especially the elderly, really needs to be cared for more regularly because, like I said, we see it all the time. And then there's the direct link between gum disease and heart disease.
Well, and I want to talk a little bit about that because I know that there are some people that have events, cardiac events happen, sometimes either in the dental chair or shortly thereafter.
Right.
Because of this phenomena you're talking about.
Well, we're talking about a more chronic thing with, I'm talking about atherosclerosis, buildup of plaque. The same plaque that is building up on your teeth, those bacteria get into your bloodstream anytime you have bleeding, and that will go to your heart, and you'll get the same plaques forming. They're finding this in Alzheimer's patients. They haven't established a direct link, but they are studying it. I was just telling Barry when we were chatting earlier, excuse me, they did a study, 10 normal brains and 10 Alzheimer patients.
Right.
They sampled the tissue from these brains, and 4 out of the 10 Alzheimer's patients had the same bacteria that you find in the mouth associated with gum disease.
Wow. None
of the normal set, those 10 in the normal brains, had any of that bacteria. Not a definite causal effect relationship, but they're investigating it closer.
It could be. I mean, the thing that is forming in the brain is, and I happen to know this because of my involvement with this disease. For our listening audience, I've talked about it before. I serve on the board for the Banner Alzheimer's Institute for the last 9 years, and my patient base right now is nearly 50% with dementia and Alzheimer's. Mm-hmm. And I got to tell you, I mean, they have what they call amyloid plaques that build up in the brain, and they attack the gray matter. And if you look at a brain under a scan, you can actually see the erosion of that matter. And basically, it just eats away your brain. And I imagine that's what it does to your bone in your mouth.
Absolutely.
It eats away at that. And I mean, as I said in our last segment just before this, I mean, I sometimes meet people in a business setting, and I'm talking to them, and I can't help but look in their mouth.
Right.
Because, your mouth is what you see.
Absolutely.
And, you want to see, good teeth, but when you see all this plaque, you're like, OMG, go to see a dentist.
First thing I
get that chiseled off.
Yeah, and that is a big point with me as well, because I feel that the psychological effect of having a poor smile, an unattractive smile, is devastating. People's quality of life actually suffers.
Right.
Not only health-wise, but just socially. That first impression is made with a smile.
I couldn't agree with you more.
In my view, the smile is the window to the soul, as opposed to the eyes. And I think of Stevie Wonder all the time.
Right.
He's blind, but that smile is so engaging. That's his soul.
And he's got a good set of choppers.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, he does.
That's what does it for me with Stevie.
It's interesting. We talked about before even the show started. I just celebrated a birthday this week.
Well, happy birthday.
I get to celebrate one more, and you know what? I'm embracing my aging, and I'm really comfortable where I'm at. But I did a consult recently because I have a crown, as I shared with the listening audience, on number 8, thanks to my brother Joe. And I need to replace that. And it's 35 years old, and my dentist said, you might want to take a look at maybe getting some orthodontic work done. And, I did a consult, and I found out I have a cant on my smile. And, you're right. It's the gateway to who you are. It tells a lot about somebody, and I'm giving it some serious consideration, because if I'm ever going to do it, I'm going to do it now.
Right, and it's never too late.
And I'm going to set myself up for the rest of my life, and hopefully preventing disease, and hopefully maintaining that beautiful smile through my years.
Absolutely, and you will optimize your longevity with a healthy mouth. You will optimize your productivity, and you'll optimize your general health. It's a no-win. It's a win-win situation. It's no-win if you don't.
But I have to wear braces for about 7 months, and it's going to feel like my teeth are falling out.
Well, you're married already, so it's not like you're going to be out there meeting people.
I know, and I got to do this radio show, and I'm hoping I'm not lisping and I'm not spitting and drooling all over the place. But
nobody will know.
That's not.
But if I need to get the relief, I know I can go to Dr. Kelly, Dr. Jim Kelly, and if you want to reach Dr. Kelly, you can reach him at www.drkelly, KELLYDDS.com, or you can call him at 602-954-1901. Our programmer here today is taking us out with a little bit of Chicago, only the beginning, and unfortunately it's not just the beginning. It's really coming up on our 4th segment. And I really want to talk about your practice, because you have been practicing for over 30 years. And in the tech world, they call it a pivot. So you pivoted a little bit, and you've created this new concierge in-home dental service company. So I want to talk a little bit about that and what you're doing, because it's really phenomenal, and it's something you're doing with the older adult population, which our listening audience is really, really keen on hearing about. And I want to hear about it too. You listen to Health Futures. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm David Goldstein, CEO of Arizona's premier collateral lender, Biltmore Loan, and I'm proud to announce the grand opening of our new landmark location, 10830 North Scottsdale Road, a block north of Shea. If you need cash for personal reasons or business needs or really anything at all, we can turn your significant assets into significant cash instantly, because Biltmore can buy or loan on almost anything you own. From car titles and fine watches to real estate and even business assets, including short-term and bridge loans. And while our office is brand new, you'll find our way of treating people is old-fashioned. We treat you with respect, dignity, and honesty. And when we give you our word, you can take it to the bank literally. Please stop by, go online at BiltmoreLoan.com, or call 480-991-LOAN. That's 480-991-LOAN. At Biltmore, we say yes when the bank says no.
High returns on your investments? Who wouldn't want that? This is Sinclair No, with a strategy that could increase your overall return on your investment portfolio. It's called Decadian. The Decadian investment methodology encompasses a 10-year goal for financial freedom, plus something that's really missing today, straight talk, so you know you have a financial advisor you can trust. Great investment recommendations that far exceed what your institutional markets offer. All this wrapped with performance guarantees. Only those who know what they can do will guarantee what they can do. Decadian. Decadian.com. Decadian. That's Decadian.com. Call 844-332-2342. 844-332-2342. Here for you when you need it most. Decadian. Join Daniel Bustamante, co-founder of Landshark Analytics and LongShortRadio.com, and learn to trade from the pros. Tuesday, 4:30 p.m. on The Financial Review.
Now back to Health Futures, taking stock in you. If you have questions about your own or your loved one's future health care, call 602-264-8009. Now, here's your host, Cypress HomeCare Solutions, Bob Roth.
Welcome back. You're listening to Health Futures. I'm your host, Bob Roth. And if you're just tuning in, we're on our last segment here today, our fourth segment, coming at you live from the Scottsdale Aero Park here on September 23rd, 2016. And I've got Dr. Jim Kelly here in the studio, not to be confused with the former quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. And by the way, the Buffalo Bills are rolling into town to see our Cardinals, and I hope Jim Kelly's former team, your namesake, buddy, gets their, their fannies kicked, and the Cardinals get themselves another winning and on the road to 2-1. And I've got Sherry here in the studio, Sherry Kelly, his beautiful wife, and I've got Barry Kluger, who contributes every once in a while, and he adds a little color to us. And for those that can't see, he's wearing a Robert Graham shirt. Looks like a clown just vomited all over.
It's paisley.
It's paisley.
It's very cool.
But you're looking sharp. And you know what? If it was 1970, you'd be perfect.
But people can't see because it is radio. He's probably one of the most stylish dentists I've ever seen.
Well, he is. He is definitely stylish, and he's got a purple shirt like I do on today. And
I noticed that.
And we're talking about Jim, and when we left the last segment, we were talking about how you did a little pivot. And I want to talk about that. You're doing some mobile dentistry, and I want to talk about how long have you been doing it, what has been the response to it. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with mobile dentistry.
Well, when I first got involved with mobile dentistry, as a little side project when I was looking to purchase my practice here in Phoenix after we moved out here a couple of years ago. And I loved it. I loved interacting with the people. We were seeing people at acute care facilities, nursing homes, private residences. This mobile service is one where we travel in a small SUV. Our equipment is completely portable, including our laser. We can take our laser with us.
Wow.
And we can set up in the comfort of your living room or office.
For reals?
For reals.
We could come here, Bob.
Well, you know what? We're bringing you back. We're going to work on my teeth.
Yeah, I travel with my team.
I love it.
Yeah.
So you have a hygienist with you and yourself? And
no hygienist, just an assistant and my road manager, as I call her, Michelle and Maribel. And they come with me, and I do the cleanings when I'm on the road like that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there's nothing better than having the dentist actually do the cleaning. So.
Yeah, I'm not above that.
No, not above that, but more importantly, you can see some things that maybe.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you're a trained eye, and you've been seeing it for 30 years.
Absolutely. Anytime I have the opportunity to clean someone's teeth, I embrace it because I do have a closer look than the hygienist who's going around that.
I give you so much credit, Jim, because every single day you're climbing into somebody's mouth. And I don't think that's something I could do. But you do it, and you do it proudly, and you love what you do, and you're passionate about what you do.
Oh,
and you can see it in your face, you can see it in your demeanor, and certainly our listening audience can hear it in your voice.
Well, thank you, Bob. I take that as a high compliment. I appreciate it.
Well, you know, one of the things I want to talk about, because it's something that you just filled me in on at the beginning of our show, before our show started. You talked about neuromuscular dentistry. You know, it's a phrase that, you know, some people, you know, use, but I don't really know what it means. So what does that mean? And can you explain that to our listening audience?
Little background, absolutely. Little background on neuromuscular dentistry. It's been around for 50 years. It was started by a dentist, general dentist, Bernard Jenkelson, in 1966. And what we do with neuromuscular dentistry is we restore the harmony that should exist between the teeth, the bone of the jaw, and the muscles of the jaw. Those three elements need to be functioning in complete harmony.
Right.
When they're not, what you will find are symptoms, an array of symptoms, ranging from chronic migraine headaches, neck and lower back pain.
Lower back pain?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really? It all stems from the
absolutely.
mouth?
Posture.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not impressed. I'm just... wow.
This is a field of dentistry. There is no specialty. One of the reasons I moved out here was to be closer to Las Vegas Institute, which is where I first studied neuromuscular dentistry. And now I study with Dr. Clayton A. Chan, who's a master at neuromuscular dentistry. And we just got back from a seminar with him. But I just had a lady in today. It's really remarkable. This young woman is in the health profession herself, involved with neurosurgery, has seen every doctor, is for chronic headaches, neck pain, to the point where she actually said to me today she's thought about suicide.
What?
It's that painful. She has had Botox injections. We see people when they've expended all of their resources, and all of their general physicians are confounded. They don't know where to go. Then the next thing is to refer them to a psychiatrist, because these are, people don't know what they don't know. There's a lot of great physicians out there.
Right.
But if you don't know what's going on.
And it's easy to take a pill. Today we're a pill-popping society,
right.
So you know what? I'll take a little Valium. I'll take a little, take the edge off. Maybe have a little nip of, alcohol. But that's not resolving the issue. So neuromuscular dentistry, wow.
The way we resolve it, we take our diagnosis and, we do a thorough rundown of the symptoms and, check head and neck posture and all that stuff. But we treat it by relaxing the jaw with electronic equipment called the TENS. It relaxes the jaw.
Now, is that like a TENS unit?
Yes,
okay,
absolutely.
So you're doing electrostimulation to relax
it's
it.
a micro-TENS. We
Right.
micro-TENS the head associated musculature for about an hour, and then we find that happy spot where the jaw wants to be, irregardless of the teeth. And we create a bite. We have them bite down, and we create a precision bite to keep them in that position where their jaw is most comfortable. They wear this. It's a removable piece. It looks like a night guard, but it's really not a night guard.
Right.
It's at first a diagnostic tool for us. When we put these things in, we usually see results within the first 24 to 48 hours or a week. It's amazing.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. It's on the rise. It's not taught in dental schools. You pretty much have to educate yourself. And LVI was one of the places I started. And most dentists that get into it have been practicing for about 20 years.
Can I back you up for a second? You said LDI?
LVI, Las Vegas Institute.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure
yes,
what that was.
Absolutely,
okay.
I'm glad you did.
It's interesting because, you talk about people that are in chronic pain. and they seek out all these remedies out there, whether they be medical or non-medical or homeopathic, and they've expended a lot of money to try to find relief. We need to help get this word out there, because especially with migraines, and you're telling me lower back challenges can stem from this?
Absolutely.
I mean, I think that this is something that is it needs to be more out in the public, and I know you're doing a good job of doing that, Jim, and we're doing that here today, but we need to do more of a better job, and maybe Barry can help us get that get that word out there, because there are probably a lot of people out there that are suffering.
Oh, I totally agree, and people gradually find their way to my office when they've
expended everything else.
Yeah.
It spent thousands of dollars and gone through weeks, months, years of pain.
And all I can say is that the success rate is extremely high.
Wow. No, that's really good to hear.
And gratifying.
Well, I appreciate you walking us through that, because I was not aware of that.
I could spend a whole other show talking and speaking about
we're definitely going to have you back. And you know what? I've got about a minute left, and I want to make sure that we conclude where, if you have any final thoughts that you would like to share with our listening audience about you and your practice, I want to just give this out one more time. Dr. Jim Kelly can be reached at 602-954-1901 or at drkellyDDS.com. Some final thoughts, Jim?
Absolutely. What I'd like to say, Bob, is that, aside from all the technology, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And that's our philosophy with my team. I have 4 very intelligent, skilled women behind me in this operation. My wife, Sherry, Carrie Grant, Stephanie Luster, and Deanna Hatch.
You have Cary Grant working for you?
Yes.
I just you brought him back from the dead. Or Carrie's actually a woman, but I get it.
He's a woman now.
Yes, but we would love for people to come in and visit. We have a beautiful office at 44th and Thomas in the Concord building.
That's a beautiful building.
And we're on the 6th floor with beautiful views of. We have panoramic views of Camelback Mountain and downtown.
I love it.
And we have great people.
I love it. Jim, I can't thank you enough for being on the show. I'm definitely going to have you back. I've learned so much here today, and I know there's so much more to learn about dentistry. And I'll give you an update on how my potential orthodontics are going. Sherry, thank you for being on the show.
Thank
Barry,
you.
you as well. Make it a great day. Have a great weekend. We will talk to you next week.
Thank you so much, Bob.
You're welcome.
There's no place like home. You've been listening to Bob Roth's Health Futures. If you have questions about your own or your loved one's future health care, call Cypress HomeCare Solutions at 602-264-8009. That's 602-264-8009. Or visit CypressHomeCare.com. Be sure to join Health Futures with Bob Roth every Friday at noon, right here on Money Radio 1510 and 99.3 FM.
What passions do you want to pursue next in life? Do you want to be a sculptor, a volunteer, teach your grandkids to fish? Your Ameriprise financial advisor, Wayne Candace, can help you plan for the life you want today and well into the future. When you have the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Call Wayne at 480-922-4215. Office is located at 16220 North Scottsdale Road, Suite 250, Scottsdale, Arizona 85254. Ameriprise Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA and SIPC.
Money Radio 1510
and 99.3 FM.
It's KFNN Mesa Phoenix and K257CD Phoenix. Put together a truly diverse portfolio of investments. Listen for the many conventional and alternate ideas each day right here on Money Radio. Getting near the end of the trading week with the Dow down now 126 points, S&P 500 down 12, the NASDAQ is down 33 points.
When people want to talk about money, this is the place they come to. And there's more on the way after this break for the latest news. And we begin